even though we were in the tropes, but we'll get back to the tropes after Sukkot. Okay, tochecho, admonition. Nafshi o chidruchi v'tzurech borchi v'chin lefon of tarchi. You just skip the first paragraph. Okay, nafshi o chidruchi v'tzurech borchi. He says, my soul, march on with courage and bless your rock. V'chin lefon of tarchi v'sicho lenegdo shivchi. It's poetic. Set before him a plea and pour forth prayer to him. V'sori mishnosechi, v'sboni mikomechi. You know, today there's certain expressions you don't hear anymore, but we used to say it many years ago. If you grew up in the 50s, early 60s, you used to hear it. It used to be an expression. It really came from during World War II. Wake up and die right. It used to be such an expression. Not sure in South Africa if they have that expression, but in the United States they have that expression. Okay? Hisori mishnosechi, v'izboni mikomechi. Awaken from your sleep. This is the Rambam in Hilchos Tshuva, right? Urishenu mishnaschem. Awaken from your sleep and from your slumber. Hisboni mikomechi. Reflect on where you're at in life. Right? There used to be another expression. Wake up before it's too late. Right? There was another expression. Wake up before it's too late. Hisboni mikomechi. Ki emi ze bos v'onos telechi. Realize from where you're going, from where you come and where you're going. So these are all. This is similar to the Mishnah Pirkei Avos. Ma'im boso lo nato holech. Right? From where do you come and where are you going to? That's always a question. You know, it's interesting. I once asked the question. The Mishnah tells us in Tainis that there were 5 tragedies that took place on Tisha B'Av. 5 tragedies. What are the 5? First one was the Chet HaMeraglim, was Tisha B'Av. The first and second Churban Abayis, right? The first Beis Hamikdash, second one was destroyed on Tisha B'Av. After the Beis Hamikdash was destroyed, it says the Romans, they plowed under Yerushalayim, okay? And after also it was Beitar. Beitar was destroyed. This all took place on Tisha B'Av. Beitar, then Nechrash Yerushalayim was plowed under. So I said, the first 4 I hear. This is the greatest tragedy in the history of the Jewish people. But after everything's destroyed, they're plowing under Yerushalayim, that there shouldn't be a trace of the past. You're equating that with what? With the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash. You read Josephus, Jews were slaughtered like cattle. There were rivers of blood. How could you even equate the two? Right? But evidently, Chazal, they equate the last tragedy with the first 4 tragedies. Why are they within the same classification? So what I said was that the Romans, the level of genius of totally annihilating something, they understood if there's no past, there's no future. This is what they understood. There's a past. We're going to rejuvenate, regenerate. They didn't want any regeneration of Jews. So if the Jew himself doesn't even know who he is, what happens to the Jew? He just totally disappears. So the Techrash Yerushalayim, plowing under Yerushalayim, there should not be a remnant, a trace. That means it's over. The Jews are gone forever. His boni mikomechi emi ze bos ona telechi. From where do you come and where you're going? If you understand where you come from, then you understand where you're going. But if you don't understand where you come from, then you have no clue where you're going. Therefore, you know, we have Ovos HaKadoshim. In Egypt, Mitzrayim, why were they? They were pagans. Why did they merit the Gula? So one of the reasons is Loshin Lishonam, Shmam Umalbusham. Right? They retained their Jewish identity. Their language, their names, and their attire. Right? We're Jews. Maybe pagans, but we're Jews. So we're talking about Jewish identity. How do they know about their Jewish identity? So Chazal tell us that the Leviim, who were not part of the bondage, they would go out into the fields with scrolls, and they would tell them about the Ovos HaKadoshim. You had a special grandfather, Avram Yitzchak Yaakov, And there were Shvatim, there was a history. As a result of that, once they saw the light, they were immediately back to where they should have been. Because they had a sense of who they were. We're Jews, we're off track. But if you don't even have a sense you're a Jew, then it's over, it's gone. Therefore, his boni mekomechi, from where do you come and where are you going? Recognize what is your place right now. Many years ago, there was some person who used to come here. He was a Bel became a lawyer, and his father lived in a certain state I'm not even going to mention. And there was a terrorist bombing in Tel Aviv. I don't know, it was on a Friday night. And, I don't know, 30 people were killed, many maimed, hurt. So I said to him, what does your father say about it? He says, Jews being killed in Israel and people being killed in Bosnia, to his father's the same thing. You understand? To him, no feeling whatsoever. I mean, his whole sense of Jewishness. He doesn't have a sense of what a Jew is. You know? Bosnian, a Jew in Israel, it's all the same thing. You understand? This Jew, almost there's no hope of coming back. No hope. The man is what? Is comatose, spiritually comatose. No sense. He's over. And that's what he says. His boni mukomaichi. Reflect on what's your place. And then realize from where do you come and where you're going. To be continued.